Hello, YouTube land. Back again. Make a quick little video here, as quick as I can make it. I uploaded a quick snippet the other day of this thing running for literally maybe a second. There was kind of a good reason for that. Well, two good reasons. This thing is loud. It just has literally the downpipe dumping underneath this car. And I kind of respect my neighbors, so it's a big tin can. So there's that. The second thing was the map sensor on the Fueltech wasn't really hooked up. It just, was pulling atmosphere. So there's that. I had to run some lines through the firewall, and as you can see, my lovely screws and vacuum ports right now. That's temporary, where I have to plug those up, but there's that. And what was it? Oh, the top of the throttle body was wide open. I made up a quick plate, ain't the prettiest. And then the throttle bracket was not connected. It was just kind of laying there. So who knows if the thing was even set right. I reclocked the spring, got this running nice and smooth. So the only thing left as far as throttle body action is this IAC angle adapter. I'm not going to use one. I'm not driving this thing on the street ever, really, so it's going to just be at the track for a few blasts. Either going to plug this or just make a square plate, put the gasket on, and block her up. So there's that. The other things that are going on, the O2 sensor I have, if you can see, I don't believe the Fueltech plugs into that. I wish it did, but it doesn't. So I think it's laying in here. If I can actually reach the thing without dying. So spacing looks just a little off. So I ordered, I think this is an LS Bosch LS 4.9. This is a 4.2 or something. This is a 4.2. So that's coming tomorrow. That way I can feel a little safer running this thing. The other thing I have to look at is the oil pressure sensor. Don't mind these. We'll get to that in a second. The oil pressure sensor, which is buried under here and going up this way, it wasn't reading anything. There's plenty of oil in it, and when it primed, it had 70 pounds. So either way, there's that. It took me like a couple days to figure out the magic with the Buick crank position, crankshaft sensor and camshaft sensor. Getting it to work with the Fueltech. So scouting through the pages of forums of Buick people and these crank sensors, there's a couple of different wiring diagrams out there with A, B, C, and what the signal is, what the power is, and what the ground is. And then the Fueltech uses a different signal, a power feed for the sensor. So I had to run 12 volts to it. I found the right signal and the right ground for it. And as you've seen, it didn't take much for this thing to fire up. It had good fuel pressure when I was running. It's set to like 40 pounds right now because, it's in a garage idling. When it gets tuned, I'm sure it's going to get cranked up. The next steps for this, since we're wrapping up the vacuum line situation and everything else, wiring up our MAC valve. You'll see our yellow outputs here. We're only going to use one of these for a MAC valve. I only have one. So boom. It's one of those. So that's going to be that. I believe this is going to go to the fan relay for the radiator. And this gray is just an extra that we're not needing right now. But I ran a couple extra out here just in case, you know, needed to get some stuff done. The yellows are outputs on the Fueltech. You can kind of do, I think, generic outputs on them. Originally, I was going to have the IAC wired into it, but screw that. So we get an extra yellow back. So we're only using one yellow out here right now. Boom, boom. What else has gotten done? The trans cooler's all in. Wonder if, I don't think my light's under here. Look at my phone. Kind of found a decent place for it. Don't mind me. I'll be down in a second. So that bad boy right there. This quick spool from MMR. I gotta get the shadow over in there. I gotta wire that in. But all the AN lines are done for it. Just gotta tidy up. I think I got the trans brick basically wired in. I'm gonna ground that. I'm gonna ground this, run the wire down for the trans cooler, and basically strap these fuel lines in. So sorry about the shadow action. And I have to order a muffler because this thing is just ridiculous. While I'm down here, I probably should measure it. I'm going to be forced to get back up. But either way, boom, there we go. It drops, I don't know if I was showing this, but don't mind the tape. It was stored outside for the winter, and I don't want any critters living in the thing. But the stock Buick downpipe, stock, I should say, you know, this wasn't made for a Willys. This was made for a Buick. I think it's a test pipe. Who knows who made it? But it drops below the frame rail. So it's going to give me plenty of clearance, keep everything nice and tight. And we're going to run it. And I'm thinking, I'm looking underneath the quarter right here. Maybe loop it up. If I can show you this, loop it up. And then cut it into the side here. Keep it high up out of the way. Oh man, this thing needs body work. Everything needs body work, unfortunately. So, a couple other updates. I didn't do any videos. I got a flex fuel sensor. I made a bracket for it because that's my part-time job is making brackets. Don't mind this mess too. When I get free time, what I'm going to be forced to do is cut every single one of those wires and just pin it one at a time in a connector and put it through the firewall. Probably 2 connectors. But that is that. But we got the flex fuel sensor wired in. I put a gallon of 91 in there. It's probably around 10% ethanol. So there's that. Once we get a little closer, I'll, you know, stuff some E85 from the pump over here in and get her rolling. You know, I made a punch list the other night of some really tedious stuff that I don't want to do, but I'm going to be forced to do. I think the first thing on that list was clean up wiring. You know, I get so excited and I want things to, you know, work and run and figure things out. I get kind of lost. But it didn't get too out of control. So, I mean, I've seen a lot messier stuff, but it does need some attention before this thing is seeing the light of day. So yeah, punch list, I think it was clean up wiring, then brakes, then figure out the intercooler piping. The intercooler's in the back of the truck. I really got to get the nose on it and the radiator, and I think it's going to be close. I'll have to modify these pipes. This bolt and this hole's for the nose. Then behind that is the radiator, which still gives a lot of room, but this is not going to fly. Worst case scenario, what's going to end up happening is I'm going to get a short 90 here, get an air to water in a cooler, and pipe it back up and send her. So there's that. There's no spring in the wastegate right now. I'm really looking forward to doing that myself, but I'll probably just take it to the office and throw it in the vise, clamp her down. Maybe set it with like a 15-pound spring, and we'll go from there. You know, it's not like this thing's ever going to see huge amounts of boost, but I mean, you never know. The only other thing I think probably go over in the video, let me get rid of my last of the mess here, is the turbo coolant lines. I got one piped right in there, biome, and then this temporarily run up here to an AN adapter. I need to come up with something a little smoother, you know what I mean? Like make this a 90 and bam, just maybe tuck it underneath. Everything was kind of a pain in the ass with this huge turbo on here. The oil drain, super pain in the ass, and it's a really nice piece from TR Custom Parts. Probably can't even see the thing, but she's in there. It's pinched, so I'm gonna have to figure something out with that. Is it pinched all the way? No, it's not, but you know, I don't want oil backing into this thing. So obviously the fuel system's all set. It's an 8 and a 6, more than enough, I think, for this. And the motor sounds awesome. I am waiting on, and I don't know how this is going to be. If any of you guys know and get this far in the video, any Buick guys, I ordered a alternator relocation kit from, I think it was Cotton's, but I don't think anyone has them. You know, I have the alternator sitting in the house. I have the harness for the alternator. I have the wire for the alternator to charge, for charging. That and that alone is probably going to be what's holding this whole thing up. I'll probably have all this thing cleaned up, ready to go by the time I get that alternator bracket, which sucks. Really sucks. So, but I'm an understanding man, and I kind of knew what went on with GN1, so, you know, shitty news, but I think that was a while ago. But love their quality, you know. I mean, you know, champion stuff. So that's really about it. So next video, maybe it'll be in a week or so. We'll see how far we get. I mean, I'll probably end up starting it again without the alternator. We'll actually have the Nano running, reading the air fuel, and we should see some nice vacuum. Oh, look at this. Time for another update. Okay, Fueltech. So, love it. So there's that. All in all, I'm pretty happy with the progress. I guess another update is the Grand National. I was thinking about selling it, but it's gonna probably stick around for a little bit. It's gotta get paint. She's running good. Drive her every weekend, so she's a ripper. Last weekend, Memorial Day weekend, it was rainy, so didn't really take it out that much. I think I started her up Sunday. Thing runs good. So, and then we'll still have the Nova, which we can't get over here because I collect cars. I have a funny feeling the Range Rover will go before the Grand National. So, either way, hope you don't mind the arcade game I'm restoring, if anyone likes arcades. Doesn't look like total garbage, just on this one side. Sand it up. Anyways, that was probably a longer video than I anticipated. Looks like 15 minutes. I'll keep you guys updated, and you know, I'm hoping to get this thing up to the track maybe by the end of the year. Let's knock on wood. I know I always promise things and hope for things, and I sit on my ass, but you know, every few nights I come out here just try doing like an hour and, you know, doing whatever I can. So it still will need a cage, so it's not going to be full send, but if I can get, you know, a pull out of it, you know, tell the guy, yeah, I'm aiming for 12s and hopefully not get walked off the track, that would be cool, you know. So that's about it. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Stay tuned because we're getting towards the end of the technical thinking stuff, you know. So, oh, and if anyone knows a good Fueltech tuner on Long Island, feel free to reach out. I don't want this motor to pop. I mean, I have no problem blowing this thing up, believe me. If this thing goes, it'll be a turbo LS or something ridiculous. So hopefully this thing stays together. I do have another 109 in the back, but I don't want to go through it again. God forbid one of these heads cracks or does something. It's a bad situation. You have to end up getting them secondhand. So either way, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed it just a little bit, and I'll talk to you soon. All right, later.